So You Think You Know Westerville History Sleuth Edition. Our story today starts with a rumor. When I moved here more than 20 years ago, I mentioned my new address to an acquaintance, and she said, "That's in Amherst, right? There used to be an Indian mound there. I think it was near the school." Indigenous people built burial mounds and other earthworks throughout Ohio that date back more than 2,000 years. But unfortunately, many were destroyed before their significance was recognized. Years later, I remembered that rumor when I saw this. There's a mound marked on this map. I wanted to know where it was and started looking for clues.
This map of Sharon Township comes from Caldwell's Atlas of Franklin County, published in 1872. The map scale is 3 inches to the mile. It shows the boundaries between properties in the township, gives the number of acres for each property, and the landowner's name. The mound icon appears on the 300-acre farm owned by W.R. Samuel along the road to the town of Flint. I measured from both sides of the icon to the township border and came up with a range of about 800 to 1,000 yards. From the bottom of the icon to the road measured about 230 yards. That's an area equal to about 6 football fields. I wanted to get closer than that, and the Samuel family left a clue. This hand-drawn map, titled Harbor Road Community, shows the Samuel farm on the corner of Harbor Road and Flint Pike as it was in the early 1900s. It was drawn years later by a member of the family, probably Frank E. Samuel Jr., shown here in this photo of the boys of Harbor Road School in 1922. He labeled locations on the map with personal details like, "Carrie Hutchison and I built 1¼ mile fence summer 1930, and Jesse Johnson wrecked his dad's Model T Ford circa 1920.
Harbor Road is called Cleveland Avenue today, and Flint Pike is West Main Street. So this map shows an area that now includes Sharon Woods Metro Park and the south side of Amherst, my neighborhood. The mound location is marked on this map too, and it shows more detail than the Sharon Township map. If we can prove that it was drawn accurately, it might get us closer to the mound's location. But the scale is weird. 1 inch equals 30 rod. What does that mean?
In 1620, Welsh mathematician Edmund Gunter invented a chain that would become widely used by land surveyors. The chain was made of 100 links that were each 7.92 inches long. The whole chain was 66 feet. This odd standard made calculating large areas very easy. 1 acre of land is equal to 43,560 square feet. Divide that by 10 and take the square root. The result is 66 feet, the length of Gunter's chain. Measure any relatively flat rectangular area counting both the length and width in chains. Multiply those numbers, divide by 10, and the result will be the number of acres in the area.
What does this have to do with our map? Well, 1/4 of a chain was called a rod, the unit of measurement for our map. And this is a replica of Gunter's chain. We can use it to measure distances in rods and compare them to the map. We just need 2 landmarks on the map that still exist today. If our chain measurement matches the map measurement, we can use the map to find the location of the indigenous people's mound with more confidence. Our first landmark is this intersection, Main Street and Cleveland Avenue. These roads were much smaller in the early 1900s, but surveyor measurements were always taken from the center of the road. We can't do that today, obviously, so we'll be making some adjustments. Our second landmark is a small run, 165 rods south of here on Cleveland Avenue. Deputy Surveyor Nina, let's change.
We couldn't chain across busy roadways, so we estimated those distances. This brought our survey total to 162 rods, just 3 short of our expectation. We used the formula for percent difference to compare our survey to the map and find the margin of error. The result was 3.57%. We went back to the corner of Main and Cleveland and chained west to locate the lost mound. The map places the center of the mound 120 rods from Cleveland Avenue. We measured that distance and marked the spot here. To account for our margin of error, we drew an arc with a 71-foot radius from this point. The center of the mound was probably somewhere in this area. Depending on its size, it might have filled this entire area. Later, I used a computer program to layer the Harbor Road map over a satellite map. I plotted the locations of the same 3 landmarks on both maps. The software lined up the matching points and deformed the top layer to fit. The result is remarkable. Although Schrock Road runs too far north, the Samuel farm fits perfectly over the terrain, with just a slight skew to the right. and the mound icon falls in the area predicted by our survey.
Although this is the end of the episode, it's not the end of the mystery. There are too many unanswered questions. Was the mound ever photographed? When was it destroyed and why? Was it excavated by archaeologists first? Are there artifacts somewhere in an archive or private collection? A monument made by an ancient people is gone, leaving questions that may never be answered. But the detective work goes on. Widely scattered clues can turn up unexpectedly, and they may change everything you think you know. Thanks for watching.